Welcome to Mindshift. I'm Brandon. Today is another Saturday Short, and I'm not going to be responding to a video today. I'm going to be responding to a common theme of comment that I see left all the time on my videos. They take many different forms, but generally speaking, they're somewhere around the lines of, why do you care so much? Why do you talk about God if you don't believe in him? You don't have the right to talk about God if you don't believe in him. Focus on your own life. I'm not going to take advice from someone who doesn't even believe there's objective morality, etc., etc., etc. The theme is that because I don't agree with you, I can't be useful or helpful or care or spend my time thinking about or speaking about the things that are important to you. Now, one answer here is brilliantly done by Matt Dillahunty, and I'm going to go ahead and play that clip for you really quick.
Don't you make your life talking about him?
I do spend a lot of time talking about him.
It'd be like if I've spent my life talking about unicorns.
It would be, except that you don't live in a world where the overwhelming majority of people believe in unicorns and are trying to legislate what other people can do based on what they think unicorns want.
It is that simple, really, but I'm going to expand on it a little bit more, and I have some of my own personal reasons that I want to sprinkle into the mix there. I think the main theme of my response would be that this entire channel, everything that I've started doing, I'm not arguing for the atheist. I'm arguing for people. I'm arguing for humanity without sounding too dramatic there. I have so much empathy, so much sympathy for the average believer, for the person that was indoctrinated at childhood and has never thought to know different, for the person that was converted later in their life because of some emotional appeal. They were dealing with a loss or a hurt or a brokenness or an addiction, and Christianity or some other religion offered hope, offered love, offered something they weren't currently getting. Of course they ran towards that. I have so much sympathy for people that even get there from a head knowledge space, that philosophically speaking, they just cannot come to terms with the fact that we don't know how everything began, that we don't have all the answers for the universe, that abiogenesis is a bit of a mystery still. They've worked themselves into some Kalam argument where there has to be a creator, and then somehow they make the leap that if there is indeed a creator, the most likely creator would be the most popular one right now, and they run towards Islam or they run towards Christianity. These same people thousands of years ago would have ran towards Zeus or ran towards Krishna. It just has a hold. Religion has a hold because in some degree it works. It works for community. It works for the alleviation of fear of what happens after you die. Sometimes we've discussed a lot that that is not the case, that many believers deal with this internal concept of, am I really saved? And rightly so. But religion en masse has an answer. It has a solution. It doesn't have to be a good solution. It doesn't have to be the right answer, but it offers things that are more emotionally appealing than I don't know, or we don't know yet, or we're still looking, or we have no good reason to believe X. I understand that from everyone's personalities, that's a tough pill to swallow. Not everyone is hell-bent towards logic and rationale. In fact, the human brain, objectively speaking here, is not a truth-seeking mechanism. It is a feel-good seeking mechanism. And that's the great irony here. Religion, which claims truth, is really just the world's greatest band-aid. It's the greatest gap filler. It's the suppression of having to deal with reality. My point is I understand the appeal of religion. And as someone who was as entrenched in it as you can be for 30 years, I fully recognize the pros and the benefits. But I do not believe that they outweigh the cons and the harm. So wrapping this back in, what is my point here? My point is, I don't hate Christians. I don't despise the believer. I don't think everyone is so stupid. I really understand why people believe, how easy it is to believe, and then how stuck one can get in their belief. So the videos that I make are not just trying to echo chamber a good feeling for the atheist that we've all made the right decision, and yes, this is why we don't believe. That's a great benefit because a lot of people who have made that switch, who have deconverted, who have woken up a little bit, they struggle with those feelings of guilt and shame and doubt and what if, and normalizing their experience is a huge mission of the channel, but it is not the mission of the channel. The mission for me is just helping people identify if they're being philosophically consistent. Is there a better way to think about things? If we say X plus Y equals Z, are we really concerned with Z? Have we checked our work? Are we living like that's true? And not to shame you and not to take something away from you, but if you've been living life believing that 1 plus 1 equals 3 and it's absolutely 2 as far as truth can be stated, Wouldn't you want to know? I would have wanted to know. I did want to know. And eventually I found out the answer is 2. And it sucked so bad to come to terms with that. And so I am trying, maybe selfishly, maybe cathartically, to provide a place for people that are having those experiences, having those doubts, or maybe they haven't even doubted yet because no one has been in front of them giving them good enough reason to. I don't believe I'm the only person giving good reasons. I don't believe that I am the best person to do it. I just know that the more voices out there, the better. The more people can see that there are atheists in the world or agnostics in the world or people that have left their faiths in the world that are still fine, that still have meaning in their life, that still have joy, that still have families, that still have friends, that still have experiences that matter, that don't just delve into nihilism and say that life is meaningless if there's no God. Why? That's just simply not true. Life is beautiful because life is finite. Life is scary and brilliant because we get to create our own meaning. We forge for ourselves with our own now given autonomy that we had to wrestle back from the false gods of our religion. We get to be the deciders of our fate. And not to go sin and not to say that nothing matters, but to say, what does matter? And why does that matter to me? And is this a beneficial thing to orient my life around? And not everyone gets those answers right, and they're subjective answers anyways. So are there sad atheists? Sure. Are there nihilists out there? Absolutely. Atheism is not a prescription for joy in your life. It is an opportunity to take back the reins. What you do with those reins will absolutely be your choice, but at least it will be yours. At least your morality will not be shoved down your throat from an ancient book that is the most immoral thing I can think of. At least your meaning will be left up to you and not told that your meaning is to suffer here in this earthly realm so that you can prosper in the next, getting you to trade the only thing we know that is for sure true for a hypothetical hope. I believe sincerely religion of almost any kind steals the possibility to create the utmost in this world now, to be present in every moment, to acknowledge the limitations that we have. And limitations, by the way, are wonderful. Ask any artist, what is the way to get the most creative? It is to have constraint. When you are forced to work within a certain framework, you have to be more creative. The constraints of leaving religion is that we don't know things, we can't know things, no one has all the answers for us, and life will end. But within that, what can we create? I see it as a chance, an exciting chance at reality. I'll try to get back on topic and answer some of the objections that I've been getting in these comments. Matt already handled so well the why do you spend all your time talking about this thing that you don't even believe exists because everyone else believes exists, or because so many other people believe that he exists and are living their lives accordingly, and their lives are influencing my lives and the lives of my friends and family and even people that I don't know, that I do have empathy for because I've been there. The other gentleman uses the example of a unicorn because it's so fanciful. Wouldn't you want to know if unicorns weren't real, if you were living your entire life believing that the unicorn held salvation for you? Jesus is the unicorn. By the way, for those of you that have asked, Matt and I have been in correspondence. We are hoping to do a session of The Line together on a Wednesday night, the Hang Up, hopefully sometime in September, maybe towards later September. I'm really excited to do that and to get to spend some time with Matt. He was instrumental in my deconversion, and it's really cool to see it kind of coming full circle. Little plug, moving straight back into it. I don't really believe that Christians should feel any validity in telling me I don't have a right to judge their religion. All they do is judge other people's choices. And even the best intentioned of them do it for the exact same reason. They believe that someone who is a Buddhist, someone that is a Hindu, someone that is a Muslim has it wrong, and that wrong will lead to harm. Now, most of the time, they're going to equate that harm with going to hell. But a lot of the progressive Christians will say that no, even to have a good life here on earth, you need to be in the right with God. You need to be in the right with Jesus. And so they go and they witness. They say, you've been fooled. You have it wrong. I'm not doing anything different. You just don't like the message, and you don't have to agree with me. And I definitely don't have all the answers. I do know, though, that the Bible is not reliable, that Yahweh is not real, that Jesus is not everything that is claimed to be about him, and that there are some real harms in trying to follow this religion, or even allowing this religion to continue to propagate. And those harms have real effects, not just on the individual, but on their group, on their children, on the society at whole. And I, being a member of this human race, care, and I get to care. And what my care looks like in this time in my life is having this channel and sharing these thoughts, giving these objections that I've given, helping people deconstruct, showing the errors in the teachings that are out there, showing the harm in following these teachings, and providing as much support as I can for people going through the process. That's it. If that offends you so much as a Christian, I'd ask yourself, why? Just because I represent the other side? Do you really believe that I've been deceived by Satan? Do you believe that I'm demon possessed? Do you believe that my entire goal is to seductively take people away from the one true creator of the universe who loves them dearly so that they live a life of immorality handed over to their sin and eventually will burn in hell? Does that seem like what I'm doing this for? Or can you honestly just come to the understanding that I believe differently than you, but I'm still a person? I can still be moral. I can still have meaning. I can still have joy. If not, I believe that that is your religion that has trapped you and one of those harms that I'm talking about. I used to be indoctrinated to think that the unbeliever was not just a non-believer. They were deceived, they were demonic, or they were evil. That's the first clue that you're in a cult, when anyone who's on the out group is bad. We could talk about that side of things for a lot longer. So I didn't answer each one of those little things that I talked about at the beginning, but I think I gave enough of an explanation to hopefully have you understand why I'm here. And I'm one tiny little piece of it out there. And I'm speaking for myself, but I'm also trying to give you, if you're really confused, if you're the kind of person that leaves these kinds of comments, an understanding. We're just people. We're just like you. Everyone's working with the same subjective morality. Everyone's trying to create meaning for themselves in this world. Some people just outsource it to religion, and I think that robs you of something so special. And I'd love for you to be able to gain what I have gained since leaving. I've had the chance to be on both sides and to compare them. And I've got to tell you, this side comes out on top for no other reason than it's closer to the truth. Again, we're not playing a imperfect, perfect game. We're playing a which one has the potential to be more beneficial. And I believe that that's truth. Because as soon as you can call a spade, as soon as you can identify where your best chance for real actualization happens, I believe you will find that it is not in the cover of religion. It is in this scary, open, vast, beautiful landscape of possibility. I think that's it for today. I don't think that I answered specifically everything that I wanted to, but I think I got enough out there to start a conversation and pick up on this from another time. So thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. I have a really fun video for us tomorrow. I'll give you a little teaser right now. After those last 2 Sunday videos where I went through the 20 commands in the New Testament and then another 20 and talked about how Christians don't really hold themselves accountable to these things, all of the responses really showed me that if Jesus showed up today, you would not like him. Christians would follow someone like Trump before Jesus. And so tomorrow we have a little face-off between Trump and Jesus. So stick around for that. And until then, keep thinking. I wanted to personally thank my top tier Iconoclast patrons, Shawn Skaggs and Jason Rollins, and my Atheist Advocate patron, Jarrod Nichols, for their incredible generosity. Also, a big shout out to my Secular Scholar patrons, of which we have some new ones. All other patrons are listed in the description of each video. Please consider joining this great group if you enjoy these videos or believe in my mission. Thanks, and have a great day.